Hey folks, hope you're well. Just Michael here. Most of the time when we go out to dog jobs or one-to-one rehab, behaviour modification type stuff, and people say that the recall's poor, the lead walking's poor, one of the things that we noticed very early on is there's no engagement. There's no engagement from dog to handler, handler to dog, and from us, for our opinion, is that without engagement, you have nothing. So you'll see I've got a little guy with me, little Uber, and I've got the other two standing by waiting, and I'll do a little engagement exercise. Now, what we do is we measure the dog's food out, the daily allowance, and we will use that to build engagement. So we will move around. We want the dog to follow us. We want the dog to engage with us. If he gives us some obedience during that, we'll mark it with a yes or a clicker if your dog is already charged to the clicker, etc. If you've already conditioned those items. And the mark a word of yes, because we want the dog to obviously get to the best place, and through engagement it will improve your lead walking, it will improve your recall, everything, because nothing should be more important to him than me, and it's the same for your dogs. Nothing should be more important to your dogs than you. So when you're out and there's those other arousals or impulse, what generally happens is the dog just ignores you, and that's down to the general fact that you haven't built it up in low distracting areas to start with. So this is where your engagement starts. That is in the kitchen, okay? You then take it to the garden. So if you look at the kitchen here as your primary school level, or your kindergarten if you want to look at it from that perspective. Then when you move into the garden, that could be your primary school, and you build engagement there. The last place you need to be at the moment, if your recall's poor and your lead walking is poor, is in a park. You need to build those foundations. I've been there, I have done it, I've used all the tools in the market, but all they are is masking the issues as well. So it's really important to build the foundations up, and that's what I've done with this little guy. Now we've got Callie, our 8-month-old Mally that we took on recently from our other home, and we're building her at the moment. And Rico, our 10.5-year-old Rottie, well, he's just Rico and he does it all the time. But this little guy, he's like a rocket. So we'll build it up and then I'll just show you what I mean by engagement. Uber. Now I may use response to name, and I just want him to follow me around, and all I want him to know is that if he carries on continuing following me around and engaging with me, he's going to get fed. Yes, I will mark it when he engages as well if I use yes. Now, but all my dogs are conditioned to the clicker, so if he offers me a behaviour, I will click and I will reward that behaviour, okay, because it's just cementing all that and reinforcing all the stuff I want. You'll see him moving around again, yes, and I just want him to continue following me around, and all I've got is his feed, yes, good, and all I'm doing is just reinforcing it every time when he comes in, and I'm just reinforcing it through his own food. I'll carry out some obedience commands. I just use my body language there to get him in a sit, yes, and I'll mark that as well, good, yes, good, and then that's what I'll do. So I'll stop this one and then I'll go and get one of the other dogs. So guys, you'll now see I've got Callie with me, or Mally, yes, and as I said, she's been with us now for about a month. Come. And all we're doing is doing the engagement work with her as well. So again, we're building it up in here. Now, you'd hear an argument time and time again that my dog is not food motivated. Let me make this clear. If your dog wasn't food motivated, it'd be dead. So it may be that you are free feeding your dog and therefore they are full. So if that's the case, cut back on the food if you're using treats, because there's no harm in using the treats, and use their own food. As I said, we measure the dog's food out for the daily allowance, and we will take that on walks with us, etc. Nice, let's go. So all I'm doing with her is getting her to engage with me. I'll do a little body language thing there. I just raise my hands, the dog knows that's what I want for the sit, yes. So every time she gives me it, that's good. I'll bring her in here. Yes. Using my cupboard there to keep her backside in place, and that's all we do, is we just want this engagement work. I want her to follow me around. Come. And I don't care the fact that she's getting a little bit excited by the whole situation, because that's what I want from her. I want her to find me a lot of fun and desire to be with. So that's the Mally. You've seen the Cocker's nice and quick, the Mally's just as quick, and then that's what generally happens. So Let's try it out with the big guy, the big 10.5-year-old Rottweiler. So guys, as you can see, I've now got the old warhorse, old Rico, our 10.5-year-old Rottie. So he's been at this a long time, so he knows the script. But still, we practice all the time. Yes. There's no harm in keeping it going. There's no harm in keeping that relationship nice and strong. Yes. So we like to play a game with him because it's great, keeps him young, keeps him sweet. Yes. We can also do obedience commands with him because I want him to understand. Heel. Heel. Sit. And this is all done in the kitchen before we get to the outside world. Come. Heel. Good. So you might have heard a wee cry there coming from our other room because the other two dogs are waiting in the turn. Heel. Yes. And it's all about that engagement. And these guys have got engagement with me. So build your engagement in the kitchen, guys, before you take it to the outside world. Before you take it outside, that's what's important. And then you start increasing the distraction. So your garden is like your primary school. This is your kindergarten. Come. Yeah. So as you can see, guys, we're now in the garden. So this is your primary school level in here. Yes. So all we're going to do is we're going to move up and down, move about nice and quick, get the dog engaging with us. If he offers a behaviour, yes, I'm going to reward that behaviour as well. But all I want him to do is just follow me about, and all I'm going to do is feed him. And that's all we're doing. So we're just building that engagement. I want him to understand if he hangs out with me, this is where all the good stuff happens. This is where all the fun happens. Yes, good. Sit. Come. Yes. So again, we can add a couple of obedience commands in. Yes. But it's all about having fun. All about that reinforcement. Yes. All about that. Yes. So again, as I said, it's about building it up in low distracting areas like the garden where you're going to get the most focus. So, yes. So, as I said, build it and they will come. Yes. So guys, we're back out with Callie now, and as per normal Scottish weather, that's the rain just come on, so lucky us. So all I'm doing is just building up that focus and engagement with her. I just want her to follow me around. As I said in the past, it's all about, if she hangs out with me, that's where all the good stuff happens. If she offers me a nice heel position, I'm going to give her it. Yes. So all I'm going to do, my hands are in my pockets at the moment, if she follows me around. There's no harm in luring her in position either. Come. Good. So all I want her to understand is if you hang out, this is where it all happens. So just building that engagement. I can also use a word as well. Callie. Use that response to name. I can add the word come. Even though they're nice, short and sweet. Heel. Good. Come. Good. Come. And it's all about us, come, just having a wee bit of fun. And you're building engagement up during this exercise. Sit. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. 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 Sit. Come. Good girl. Nearly called him a girl with that. Come. Good boy. Close. Yes. Good lad. Heel. Heel. Yes. Come. It's all about the fun, guys. All about the fun. Come. Just drop.